Hello everybody, welcome back. Got another short ride for you. This one is we're going to go back to 1981. Everybody, I hope you will consider that we're talking about 1981 and the quality is not the absolute greatest, but I think it's the quality of what's happening in the ring that is the most important part of this, and it's still really good for 1981. Wow, really lucky to have found these things, and you won't find them on other places, on YouTube or any other place. You're gonna have difficulty finding these same matches. And this one, I want to go back a little bit. I'm right now in Studcast and doing 1979, which is been a it's a very exceptionally crazy year for me, in which I'm going to have a wrestling war, but I'm going to discover Hulk Hogan and Jerry Blackwell, the Honky Tonk Man, Wayne Ferris, David Schultz. Got a lot of great young stars in the crews in two territories, and Jimmy happens to be in that southeastern Gulf Coast territory at that time frame, and now he's going to be moving on to Memphis. Whole lot of things happening in the Studcast in 1979. We're our current time frame that we're in now, and what I'm going to show you here is Jimmy had never been a heel. In 1979, toward the end, and once the war started, brought Jimmy back out of Memphis and turned him heel. First time he'd ever been a heel in his wrestling career. And then we went back to Pensacola once I sold Knoxville Wrestling, and we left there. Jimmy and Rob and Bob Armstrong, all of us went back to Pensacola and had Southeastern down there. And so Jimmy was a babyface, and he had never been a heel there, so he went back. People didn't know what was happening in the Knoxville area, so they had no idea that Jimmy had been a heel. So Jimmy went back in as a babyface, and about 1981, we decided to turn Jimmy heel in Southeastern down in Pensacola. And Jimmy was a tremendous heel, and you're going to see a little bit of that right in this segment here. This is actually going to be a two-parter. I don't think that we've done any of these with any of our short rides, but this is a two-parter. And the first part is where Jimmy has turned basically on me and my brother, Bob Armstrong, Brad Armstrong, all the great baby faces in the southeastern area in the early 80s, 1981 specifically. And at this point, when you're seeing this first piece, he's kind of come back. He's kind of changed his ways. He's convinced me. He's convinced Rob. He's convinced Bob that he's a changed man, and he wants to get his act together, and he wants to do good and do right. And we talked just briefly about that in this piece. And then after you watch this, then there's going to be a piece of a match here with me and Johnny Valiant out of New York. That actually took place in Dothan, Alabama. There's about 7,000 people in the Civic Center there. A piece of me and Johnny Valiant from 1981. And then we're going to come back and talk a little bit more about the second piece before we get to it. So let's take a look at that first part of this short ride with the Stud.
Join us now, two gentlemen, Jimmy Golden and the Tennessee Stud, and we have some videotape highlights, Ron, of a match you had with John Valiant.
That's right, and before we get into it, I'd like to say, I know a lot of people out there are probably very confused, and I never thought that I'd see myself standing here or sitting here on the same set with Jimmy Golden, because there's been a lot of bad blood between myself and Jimmy, my brother and Jimmy, but nonetheless, I think I have seen a change in Jimmy Golden. I've had hundreds of fans from around this part of the country say, take Jimmy Golden back. He has had a change of heart. He's a good man now. And I tell you what, I've had some great partners in my time, but I don't think anybody can do a better job than that man sitting right there.
Well, I certainly appreciate it, Ron. I tell you, it's been a long time that we've been together and what have you, and it really gets me right here. And I'm just glad that we're together, man, and we're going to raise some cane. We're going to get rid of some New York trash is what we're going to do.
That's exactly right. Now you can roll the film and we'll show you exactly what we're talking about, getting rid of New York trash. First of all, I want to say, Charlie, you know, I promised the people that I was going to boot John Valiant back to New York. Well, I didn't get around to dragging him around the building and booting him out of the area, but I did send him for a little visit to the Southern doctors at the hospital in Dothan, Alabama, and the boy's got 15 stitches in his head from this match. And you're going to see in this match part of just what happens to big John, luscious John Valiant. And after this match, he don't look so luscious to me, I'll be honest with you.
Indeed. I'll have to agree with your comments, Ron. This was a hard-fought match.
Well, it was a hard-fought match. I want to say, for John Valiant, on his behalf, he has got some guts, and he did stand in there and he did fight almost down to the very end until he had to have his big Texan buddy, Ron Bass, come and help him out. And we're going to get rid of not only John Valiant, not only is he going north, but we're going to send Bass south, and I'm not talking about Texas, I'm talking about the Gulf. We're going to put him on a little boat and shove him out in the Gulf of Mexico, and he's going to be gone too at the same time.
A little southern hospitality, brother.
Now you can see here Valiant at this point is already starting to bleed. I've already busted him on that post. I run him into the post 4 times, and that was certainly enough to put that in his hair. You can see that red in his hair already. Right here, we are going at it. There ain't no doubt about it, Charlie Platt, because I don't like the man. I'll be very honest with you. I don't like the man at all.
I can
and
understand.
anytime I can get my hands on him, anytime I can get in the ring with him, I want to. There you can see him. He don't look too luscious right there. He looks kind of red to me. I'm going to put a little tapping on.
Wow, I can remember that match with Johnny Valiant. Johnny Valiant was a tough son of a gun, and actually he really had a bad laceration in this match, and he disappeared. About 3 weeks after this, he decided he couldn't take it in Southeastern. And I believe it was because we had a different style down south than what they were doing up north, even way back in those days. So in 1981, he had left. So basically, we're going to show you another clip. It's from 2 television shows later, 2 weeks later. Now, Jimmy and I have made up basically in this first piece that you saw. And in this second piece now, I'm having a double bull rope match, and it's me, and I can't remember who my partner may have been Jimmy, I believe, in this, to be honest with you. And we're wrestling against Ron and Don Bass in a double bull rope match. And you're going to see that I was wrestling as a Tennessee Stud. I'd lost to Loser Leave Town. I was wearing the mask because I was trying to get through that year so I could come back as Ron Fuller. And all these wrestlers, the Basses and the Saito and Condrey and Rose and a great heel crew were all trying to get me unmasked so that I would get thrown out of Southeastern Wrestling, basically, and they couldn't get the job done. And then this one you're going to see 2 weeks after Jimmy's so nice and I've changed my whole day. Oh, you know, I'm a changed guy. Well, I'll let the film speak for itself.
The desk with us, and Charlie and I both mentioned a lot of questions to ask. Whether we'll get the answers or not is a horse of an entirely different color.
Indeed, Les. Jimmy Golden, a man of controversy for some time in the Southeastern Wrestling area, comes back, and Ron Fuller takes him as a partner, and in a double bull rope match, we see that you again, Jimmy Golden, have turned completely against the Fuller family.
What?
Turned
You
completely.
don't know what you're talking about, Charlie
Let's
Platt.
roll the film if we can.
Let me tell you something. They're going to give me a medal, baby. An honor medal. Because I have come up with the greatest plan, and it all fit together like a real small puzzle.
Well, what we're seeing here is you and Ron Bass coming back into the ring. The inside step we're told Ron Fuller has on Donnie Bass. At this point, the leg of Don Bass was broken. But you and Ron Bass lash each arm, each wrist of Ron Fuller, the Tennessee Stud, string him up between corners, Jimmy, and just literally start to pound on him.
He had it coming. That jerk has had it coming for all of his born days. He has broke leg after leg. And right there, he was going to break Donnie Bass's leg, and there was enough of it. He ain't going to break no more legs because he ain't here no more. And I'm going to tell you something, Tennessee Stud. You're going to be bye-bye. He's gone for good because I seen him haul him off like the Tennessee trash that he is. And right here you see he's going to get the licking of his life. You people thought that he was indestructible. Baby, I fixed him. I destroyed him. He is out. There will be no more Tennessee Stud. I'm going to be your stud.
Let me ask you a question,
super
Jim.
stud.
Were you involved with Johnny Valiant? Because Valiant came to this area as a Stud's partner and later turned on him. They had their altercations. Valiant's leg is broken. Were you involved in that in any way?
All I can say for Johnny Valiant, he couldn't get the job done, baby. He couldn't get the job done, but Jimmy Golden could. And right here you see Jimmy Golden doing it, baby. I'm taking the mask off of that Tennessee Stud. He is no longer the Tennessee Stud. I'm the stud.
You're saying that
Super stud.
Ron Fuller had this coming, that he deserved this. But Jimmy, did you ever see him lash anyone to a ring, make them defenseless, and then beat them?
That's true. I have seen them Fuller boys do horrible things that you cannot even imagine. You cannot even imagine. Them boys have had a silver spoon stuck in their mouth ever since the day they was born, and when the going got tough, the Fullers scooted out. They found them a back door exit, brother. When it gets too tough for them, they get a way out, baby. But right here, there's no way out. I wish you people could have been there to... You can see it right here on this film in color, baby. And it's something else, I'm telling you. The indestructible Tennessee Stud is gone. They hauled him out, the Tennessee trash. And he is gone bye-bye. There will be no more Tennessee Stud. The only stud you're going to see is Super Stud.
Charlie,
You have no reasoning, sensible reasoning for all this taking place.
Right here is your Tennessee Stud. I told you one time, and I'll tell you again, he's a no-good jerk that likes to break people's bones, but he's not here no more. There's your Tennessee Stud, ladies and gentlemen, and thanks to all you wonderful fans, you made it possible for me. You made it possible. Where you going, Charlie Platt? You little brown-nosing jerk. You're a knob polisher, boy. Anytime I want the Fullers to know something, I'll just tell you, you're going to leave two less. We don't make you can go ahead and leave two.
Let
me tell you something, ladies and
we
gentlemen.
will get out of this
The
segment of
stud
the
is
program
don't cut
because
me off
we've
there.
run
Hold it.
enough
I'll
of
buy
this
some more
idea.
Wow. Son of a gun, man. Jimmy Golden was a real heel, man. A big-time heel. There's no doubt about that. He was a natural. This was 1981, just around Christmas time in 1981 when these two matches occurred and these two television shows were being done. Jimmy hurt his back really badly in the ring and had to actually quit wrestling for almost a year and a half. Right in this time frame. In fact, it's right, I believe, pretty quickly after these matches had happened. But as you can see, Jimmy got my mask taken off, and he has made everybody angry at him. In fact, Charlie Platt left the set, and I think Les Thatcher wanted to leave the set as well, because Jimmy is doing such a great job as a heel. But this is just another example of what you're going to be able to find over there at Classic Continental Wrestling. These television shows, both of them are in their entirety, and they're filled with great wrestling talent. Paul Orndorff, a lot of great wrestlers that were coming through the territory at that time with Southeastern. And as always, I thank you all for watching it. If you want to subscribe and you want to see the long rides, the full ride, take the full ride, it's at ClassicContinentalWrestling.com. It's only $4.99 a month, $39.99 annually if you want to pay for it a year at a time. And wow, it's just loaded, and we keep adding to it every day, just like we do on YouTube. There's something new just about every day going on there. And thank all of you very much for joining us each week, and we're going to bring in another one.